Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be creating a trio of rainbow birthday cards, and we're going to be using some new products from the July 2018 release. I have this Happy Birthday Candle stamp set, and I also have the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, and we're just going to be using that large happy from this one. I'm going to use that one instead of the scripty happy, so I have a really bold sentiment. What I really love about the Happy Birthday Candle stamp set is that it makes it really quick and easy to create birthday cards because it has 4 stamps included. So all of the candle bottoms is one complete stamp. So you can see there when I remove it, I have all of those candles already aligned perfectly on that one single stamp. So I can just stamp this all at once, and then I can add the flames or the happy birthday on top depending on what look I'm going for. So I decided to go a little bit crazy on my card and do a rainbow color theme. So I'm going to stamp all of the individual candles with a different color of ink. I really love the look of rainbow. If you know me at all, I pretty much rainbow everything I can. So I really wanted to create the candles with multiple colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Post-it tape, and I'm going to kind of section off the areas that I don't want to get ink on so that I can just add the ink to one candle at a time. And the Post-it note tape is pretty thick, so it does allow you to use it a few times before you have to replace it. You just want to make sure when it gets really saturated with the ink that you use a new piece, just so you don't have any of that ink bleeding through. So I'm starting off first with my Razzleberry ink, which is a really bright pink color. And I'm going to do a double stamping of each of these candles with each of the colors that I'm using just to get a really nice solid impression. So I'm stamping this pink here first, and then I'm going to change out my panel and do this again onto the other 2 panels. And that's just going to save me a little bit of time by doing all of the stamping of the same color at once. So combining all of the colors in the stamping definitely takes a little bit of time, but I really like the final look of having that rainbow. But if you want to speed up the process, you can definitely just use a solid color and do all of your candle stamping all at once. If you do that, you're going to quickly be able to stamp all of the candles and then the topper piece and quickly create a birthday card. And that's one of the other things I really love about this stamp set is that it's already sized to perfectly fit onto a vertical A2 size card base. So you pretty much just have to get it out, pick out your colors, and do some quick stamping, and you have a very quick and easy birthday card. So I'm just going to continue on here and do the stamping. I'm not going to show the stamping of every single panel. I'm just kind of going through and showing each color. And I do have this sped up since it did take me a little bit of time to do the stamping. But all I'm pretty much doing is going with my rainbow colors, and I started with the pink and then I went to red and orange. And I'm just using my Post-it tape as I go, and I'm masking off the 2 sides beside the candle. When I was doing the stamping right in the middle, I did do a double layer of the Post-it tape just to protect the candles on each end. And then once I finished the yellow, I thought maybe it would be a little bit easier to do this with my mini ink cube. So I decided to switch it out and do the green and blue with my minis. I ended up doing the purple with the large one once again, just because I didn't have the mini ink cube in the color I wanted to use. But you can see here when I'm using the mini ink cubes, I'm able to really contain that ink, and it was a lot easier to apply the ink to those little individual candles. So I'm going to just finish up here. I have my green, my yellow, I did an aqua color, that's blue raspberry. I'm doing a blue in Cornflower, and then I'm going to finish it up with Grape Jelly, which is my purple color. And then once I have that done, I have a complete rainbow of candles on here. And because I've done 3 panels at the same time, I actually have 3 different card panels ready to go and turn into some cards. Okay, so when it's time to move on to the top part of the candles, you have a few different options with this stamp set. You can either just use the candle flames on their own, and they're already positioned on the stamp to fit perfectly over top of the candles. There is also a birthday sentiment that can be positioned over top of the candles, or you can use them both together if you wanted to. You could do your flames and then put the birthday message right above that. I decided for mine I just wanted to use the birthday, and then I'm going to use the happy from that other stamp set like I mentioned earlier. But you definitely can use the scripty sentiment in this set if you want to stay with one complete stamp set to complete your set of cards. So what I'm doing here is I just positioned that birthday over top of my candles, got it positioned where I wanted it, and now I'm going to stamp that in my black licorice dye ink. I really wanted to have the contrast of the black both in this stamping as well as the secondary sentiment that we're going to add on a sentiment strip. So I'm just repeating this process on all 3 of my panels once again, and that is going to leave me with 3 panels ready to go for the very last part of our stamp sentiment. So now moving on to the happy part, I decided to use this happy from the Happy Birthday to You, and I'm going to pick out a color from one of the colors I used in the candles to stamp this word. So for this one here, I'm going to go with the pink color, so this is Razzleberry. And because I'm using my Misty, I can once again just position that sentiment right on that Misty door, and I'm able to stamp all 3 panels at the same time. So for this one, I'm using the Razzleberry ink and stamping that one. I'm going to go to the Sunshine ink for the second one and do that one in yellow. And then for the very last one, I'm going to use the Blue Raspberry ink. So now I have a really nice colorful set of panels that are completely stamped. So the last thing we need to do now is create the secondary sentiment to complete the phrase Happy Birthday to You. And the To You in the Happy Birthday to You stamp set that we got the happy from was a little bit too big. So I decided to use the Big Birthday Wishes stamp set, which was previously released. And it has a nice To You that will fit really nice, kind of layered across those candles at the bottom. So what I've done is I've cut out 2 strips of black cardstock. And I'm just stamping that To You onto those cardstock strips 3 times since I have 3 cards to do. And I'm adding some white embossing powder over top. This is the Wow Opaque White Embossing Powder. And off screen, I just heat set those, and now I have these really bold sentiments that say To You in the white embossing. I'm using my paper trimmer, and I'm just trimming these down so that they'll fit onto the card. And then on the other end of each of those little strips, I'm just using my scissors to create a slanted edge. I'm going to add each of these to the panels with some foam adhesive just to add a little bit of dimension since it's completely one layer and all we've done is stamping. And I just have my T-square ruler there to help me get everything lined up. And then to complete our card designs, all we need to do now is add our finished panels to our card bases. So I have a card base in each color with the same ink that I use for the Happy. So I have Sunshine, Blue Raspberry, and Razzleberry. And I'm just adding these panels directly to each of these card bases. And now we have this great trio of birthday cards that feature this rainbow stamping. These can be kind of kept on hand to give out as you celebrate birthdays, or you can make a full set of these and give it as a gift. It would be a really great present, and you can have even more colors reflected in the sentiment stamping as well as the card bases. So thanks so much for joining me in today's video. I hope you got some ideas on ways to use our new birthday themed stamps. I appreciate you joining me for today's video, and I will see you in another one soon. Thanks for watching.